Hi yogis, hi friends, hi dogs. Welcome to our practice. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far. I'm looking forward to our practice today. Again, something to help to shift our focus, to find our perspective again, to let things soften for a while, to find our peace and our serenity. I thought today we would do some more things with our own hands on our bodies to try to replicate human touch. It's been a long time now since we've been able to hug and give each other a beautiful embrace. So I thought today we would use our hands, and I thought we would concentrate a lot on our hips. People have asked for hip work, so here we go. Find yourself your comfy place. Remember, it's the idea of taking the pelvis a bit higher than the knees. It allows the hips to start to soften. So again, if you're sitting and you're finding that your knees are up high, sit up on something a bit higher. Maybe take a block and slide it under the sides of the knees, and the muscles will get the idea to soften. So there is no perfect position. See what works good for you and find your place to settle in. You can feel your sit bones, your anatomical grounding, anchoring us, finding our stability, our purpose in place. It's our roots, right? The sense of being drawn down to the earth. Maybe think today of a long cord with a weight on the bottom of it that's anchoring us down. And at the same time, there's another string pulling you right from the crown of the head up towards the heavens. These two different forces meeting somewhere in our center, finding those lengthening muscles, finding the vertebrae, the bones starting to elongate and create some space. Suggest you close your eyes. When we close our eyes, we block out the visuals, cut down distractions. Take a moment here to realize what's going on inside your system. We have our interoceptors that feed back all this information to our brains. Not necessarily looking to change anything, more just observational. Where are we starting? Maybe you can feel that pelvis slightly tilted forward, creates the arch in your low back. The sense of the binding in at the bottom of the rib cage, that Uddiyana Bandha, or thoracic bind, this beautiful stability ring around our body. So when we bring our chest tall, what opens is your upper back, big broad collarbones, shoulder blades softening down the back automatically, and the head slides back into its bobble-headed place. Maybe again envision the back of the skull aligned with the sacrum. Feel the support behind you. Let's go ahead and invite our breath now. Remember, this is invitational breath only. This is different than the breath that keeps you alive. It's our conscious breath. It's the thread through our practice. It's a very potent stimuli for our brains as we inhale and exhale purposefully to calm the system. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth through pursed lips, or find a way that feels right for you. We warm and hydrate and purify the air as we invite it in, and as we breathe out through those pursed lips, we can hear the wind, the exhaust as it leaves our body. Feel that beautiful oxygen, prana, life force as it comes in, feeding our cells down to the deepest level. And as you blow that carbon dioxide, that exhaust out, all the physiological, mental debris, we rid ourselves of all the things we don't need. It's a purification. It's a homeostasis, a rebalancing of the system. Let's sit this morning all over the world we are and find our breath and see if maybe we can unite our breath on that thread through the world. Before you open your eyes, take your thumbs, cross them like bird wings over our heart center, the heart chakra, our compassion center. Feel our heart beat inside the chest, the magnificence of that heartbeat. Feel the warmth perhaps in your palms, maybe the green light being emanated from the heart chakra. Let's stop for a moment here to feel our humanness. Blink the eyes open, look at the front of the mat, and bring the gaze back up. Let's offer it up. Take the palms, spread the fingers wide, open your hands. See if you can feel the grounding here, and as the sit bones ground and we keep the tilt in our pelvis, we can reach our arms so tall. Starting to feel side body opening. Bring the hands a little closer together. Squeeze that imaginary energy globe. Go ahead and look up at your hands now. Keep the low ribs in and see if you can take the thumbs back behind you. We open our upper backs. Start to get rid of some of the roundedness, the over-roundedness of that upper back. Ears between elbows, hands together, steeple hands. Index fingers to the sky, elbows close into the ears. Grounding, lifting. Feeling a little side body opening now. Maybe from ribs up. Starting to feel the muscles between the ribs warming, releasing. Bring it back to neutral. Press your palms together. Inhale, and on your exhale, let's lower down through main central, third eye, tip of the nose, lips, throat, onto your big heart. Lift your heart towards the thumbs. Find that opening. Start of some back bend. Spin the hands to the earth, fingertips touch, right into the neck we go. Inhale, exhale. Right hand holds the earth. Left ear softens to left shoulder. Find the opening in the spine, softening in the muscles. Let's do our yes movement, chin up and down, kind of carving out a little bit more of the path. Bring the head to neutral again, and then see if you can find the release. Inhale your head back up to center, exhale. Opposite left hand holds the earth, right ear softens. Yes, chin up and down. Carve out and release. Ear towards shoulder. Inhale the head up to center, and on the exhale, left hand turn with the chin on the horizon line. Slowly, elegantly, trying to find that range. Do your yes again, up and down with the chin. Bring it to neutral and see if maybe you have a little bit more movement. Inhale back through center, exhale to the right. Left hand is your anchor. Take it around. Chin up and down. And a little bit more rotation. Nice. Inhale back through center. Exhale left. A little cleaner. Go deeper. Inhale. Exhale, bring the chin out towards your two right shoulder point. Accentuates the stretch, right side of the neck, our sternocleidomastoid muscle. Inhale, head back to center. Exhale, right. Stays on horizon line for safety. Inhale. Exhale, left hand holds the floor, chin out towards your two right shoulder point. Inhale back through center. Slowly lower the chin down to the jugular notch between the two collarbones. Try to make it all happen from the neck. Keep the upper back and shoulders out of it. Inhale. Exhale, trace the chin along the line of the right collarbone. Keep it on the collarbone as long as you can. If it starts to lift off, that's where you stop. Otherwise, see if you can continue the chin all the way around to the shoulder blade. Inhale back through center. Exhale, left chin on collarbone. Again, carving out that path. See if you can free up some of the tissue and mobilize the bones. Inhale back through center. Exhale, reaffirm the press of the hands and the sit bones. Pull the ribs in, bring the heart nice and tall, and the head will lift. Keep the crown of the head lifted. Inhale. Exhale, imaginary hand between your shoulder blades, pushing your heart forward. We lower the head back, don't let it drop. Find as many vertebrae as possible to share this movement. If there's dizziness or pain in the spine, back off. Otherwise, see if you can get the stretch from your chin down to your collarbones. Nice. Inhale the head back up. Start position. If you're sitting in half lotus, switch your legs opposite cross. Let's take our thumbs today to the back of the skull. Thumbs are on the occiput. It's the bone, the bottom of the skull, and drag the thumbs through that occipital ridge. It'll end behind the ears and your mastoid bones. Same thing. Repeat it a few times. We're stimulating some craniosacral points, helping to move our bodies, our minds into relaxation. Beautiful. Take your index fingers to your third eye now. Press into the third eye. Inhale. On your exhale, drag the index fingers through the eyebrows. More acupressure points. Over to the temples. Do some circles clockwise and counterclockwise. We'll do the same thing. Start at the center. Inhale. Exhale, drag index fingers through. Eyebrows come onto your temples and do your circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. Right under the ears we go, a little pinch and pull out the periphery of the ear or perimeter of the ear. More auriculotherapy points. Warming the system, go ahead and grab the ears and pull them away from the face, the Dumbo ears, helping to bring some energy and movement, fluid movement through the temporomandibular joint. Shift your jaw right and left, up and down. Maybe some circles. Onto the lobes, go ahead and pull them down. Good, guys. Go ahead and rub your hands together, create some heat. We'll cup our ears now, blast furnace your ears. Release, right hand, left thumb. Wring it out, give it a pull and a twist. Give it a pull and a twist. Work down the fingers. Okay for your knuckles to snap. Each one of your fingers corresponding to a different emotion to the other hand. Worry and fear and anger and grief and trying too hard. Interlace the fingers, take the palms and push them forward. You'll have a triangle for your little finger and your thumbs. Keep the shoulders down, try not to let them come up, and push them forward. Protract the shoulder blades, and then retract them back. Protract, push the hands forward, find a little bit more extension your fingers and your wrist, and then pull them back. Take your right hand on top, interlace fingers, bring the hands through the hole in the arms there, take them back, do the same thing we just did, protract the shoulder blades, retract them, take them under, switch the hands now opposite, right on top, left on bottom, bring them through, take them out, protract, retract, we take them up, cactus arms, thumbs go back for hitchhiker shoulders. Many of you very familiar with this routine now, this sequence. Great idea here to maybe see where your body is today, maybe compared to last week or 3 months ago. Don't lose sight of the progress, right? Inhale, exhale, bring them together for your fly machine arms. Turn your hands to face you. Inhale, exhale, push the sides of the hands and elbows together. Start to take them up. When your elbows come apart, that's where you stop. Pause for a moment wherever you're at. Take the elbows apart, index and middle touch. Inhale, exhale, draw them down slowly through that fluid, resetting that whole shoulder girdle. Let's buzz through that a few times. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down, filling your lungs one more time. Light bulbs, turn your hands, make the wrists nice and free. Queen wave, hallelujah arms, warming up the system back to your queen wave, into your light bulb hands. Let's go ahead and shake them out. Good, fly the arms up, right into eagle arms, right on top, left on bottom, elbows marry. If possible, fingers press palm. That might not work for many of you. Maybe try this instead. If that's still too much, just have your elbows apart. Do whatever you can to try to move into Gomukhasana arms here. Inhale, exhale. Sit bones ground, and we take the right elbow into the left, protract the shoulder blades, warm up the whole shoulder girdle. Inhale back. Exhale, pinch the pencil between the shoulder blades. Find that movement, that excursion of your blades. Inhale back to center. On the exhale, make a right hand turn with the arms. Take them around, big stretch, posterior cuff right, mobilizing the right shoulder. Ball and socket. Go ahead and turn your head now. Look what you've already done to open up your neck, right? Feel the warmth moving through. Inhale back to center. Exhale, arms only to the left. Opposite stretch, obviously. Inhale and exhale, turn your head. Find the freedom. Inhale the whole unit back to center, and on the exhale, just the elbows drop. The shoulder blades will ride up. A big stretch of our lower traps, middle rhomboids, elbows releasing down. Go ahead and start to flex the spine now. Put your left elbow towards your belly button and let your chin come into jugular notch. Inhale back up. And on the exhale, just the elbows, take them up. Low rib ring is engaged. Take this up. This is a beautiful way to open up that mid-back. Continue on now, the hand between the shoulder blades, pushing the heart up and the elbows up. And then maybe add neck to it, let the head release back. Inhale, arms, head back to center, gracefully. Eagles fly, and opposite on the way up. Left on top, right on bottom. Do what you can with your hands. Inhale. Exhale, take lefty into righty. Draw those blades forward. Inhale back to center. Exhale, pull them back. Retract. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand turn, arms first. And the head. They both come back together. Inhale, exhale, just arms. Head. Inhale back to center. Exhale, just elbows. Release them down. Then start to flex the spine. Bring the right elbow towards the belly button. Maybe let the head release. Inhale everything up. Exhale, pull the low ribs in, just the elbows go up. An imaginary hand behind the heart, opening the heart and elbows up to the heavens. And then move into your back bend. Back to neutral and release. Beautiful. Okay, let's take our legs out in front of us. Kick the legs out for a moment. We'll discover our hips, and then I like to work our feet a little bit. So where are your hips? I don't know. They're behind where most people think they are. So if you've got a pocket in your pants, your hip is actually behind where the pocket is. When I say hip, I mean ball and socket. So take your right foot and turn the foot up and or in and out, and see if you can find where that movement is. You can feel a little ball. That's the head of your femur. So that's where your hip joint is. We should be well aware of where our hips are before we start to open them up. Okay. Have your feet close together. Let's start with them together. Big toes touch. Inhale. And on your exhale, just from your hips, start to turn out. That's external rotation, right? So nothing's moving at the knees or the ankles. That's your external rotation. Most of us will be able to touch our big toes together as we come back up again. Take your legs apart now a little bit. Do the same thing. Inhale, and on the exhale, take the toes out. That's external rotation. Is right more than left? Is left more than right? Do they seem even? Inhale it back to center. And this time with our feet apart, a little bit harder to come into that internal rotation. Maybe a little cramping in your hips. See what you're feeling in your hips now, because we'll do this at the very end of our practice today, and hopefully you'll feel a whole sense of the difference. Okay, let's give our feet a little love before we move on to the hips. Start on your right leg. Go back into half lotus or whatever works for you. You can have your hands out in front. We'll do our toe gymnastics. I think lots of you guys know this. Take your hands onto your right foot and pull the big toe and second toe apart. So you're just creating a web space between the toes. Do the same, working down, 2 and 3. Maybe a little burning in that web space. That's the fascia being irrigated. Go ahead and pull 3 and 4, and then 4 and 5. Go back up to the big toe, take it up, extend it, and then flex your second one. So the big toe's coming up while the second one's going down. Work down the line of toes, up with 2, down with 3, up with 3, down with 4, up with 4, down with 5. Reverse it, up with 5, down with 4. I think you guys got the idea. Just work down the line of your toes. Good. Take your left hand now and sling it through the toes. So your fingers as high up into the webs of the toes as possible. Take your right hand and stabilize the ankle so you're not whipping your ankle all over, but hold the ankle stable. And go ahead and mobilize that forefoot, the toes, the phalanges, as they meet the metatarsals. Give your feet some love. See if you can mobilize the joints and wake up the tissues. Nice. Take your right hand now and pound the bottom of your foot. All those beautiful reflexology points on the bottom of the feet. Let's see if we can mobilize that metatarsal joint where your toe meets your foot. So take your thumb on the top of the 5th toe and your index finger at the base, and just bend the 5th toe over. Maybe you'll get a nice snap. Do the same thing on 4, on 3, on 2, and on 1. Beautiful. Take your legs out in front of you, and what do your right foot feel like compared to your left? It's amazing what we can do to our own bodies. Okay, guys, let's do the other leg. Grab onto big toe and second toe, pull them apart. 2 and 3, pull them apart. 3 and 4, and 4 and 5. Back up, big one comes up, second one goes down. Second one goes up, third one goes down. Third one up, 4th down. 4th up, 5th down. Reverse, 5 up, 4 down. 4 up, 3 down. 3 up, 2 down. You got the idea. 2 up, 1 down. Nice. Take your hand, sling it through. Right hand through the web of the toes. Stabilize that left ankle with your hand. and move the foot around. Maybe get some nice snaps and releases. Beautiful. Release and go ahead and pound the bottom of the foot. All of our potent acupressure points in the bottoms of our feet. Good. Let's go ahead and mobilize that joint now. Thumb on the base of the little toe, index underneath. Go ahead and flex over it. See if you can create the stability to bend the toe over, open up some of the interspace. Nice. Okay. Come on to all fours. Take your right foot back behind you. Heel goes back. Crown comes forward, back of the knee up to the sky. Let's go ahead and just bring it forward now. Inhale, bring the body weight forward onto the tips of the toes and plantar flex the ankle, find the opposite direction. Inhale again. Exhale real slowly through those toes. We've already warmed up. Push the heel back. Nice. Draw righty forward, do lefty. Inhale, exhale, push back. Knee up, crown forward. Inhale, body weight forward onto the tips of the toes, over into plantar flexion of the left ankle. Back through the toes, and the heel will push way back. Broken toe, knees together, inside ankle bones, big toes touch. Sit back. Put a block underneath your knees if it's too much. Maybe a blanket underneath your buns. Maybe sit on a block. Maybe this is just too much. Pull the low ribs in, press your hands into your thighs, open your big heart. See if you can surrender the buttocks down onto the heels. The soleus muscle will get a beautiful stretch in your calf. Take your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers. Try to have your palms stay together. Thumbs in the arches of the feet, spin the shoulders back, pinch the blades together. Inhale. Exhale, keep the elbows straight, take the arms back behind you. It's shoulder extension. So the stretch in the anterior chest, maybe again, pinch the pencil between the blades and, oh my goodness, mobilize that thoracic spine. Let's dip our birds. Inhale. On the exhale, the fists will go up, the hips will flex, the spine doesn't round to come down, but the hips take us down. The buttocks can come up a little bit off the heels, and see if you might be able to touch your forehead to the earth. Take the arms way up. Inhale back up. Fists bring you down. Back to start position. We'll do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Take the arms back behind. The buns stay back first. Start to flex from the hips. And as the arms come up higher, your buns will leave your heels and try to let the forehead touch the earth. Bring the fist up to the sky, find that shoulder extension. Nice. Inhale back up. Fists. Release. Nice. Hands to the front. Kick out the feet. Sit back for a moment in your Virasana. Hands will slide back, thumbs onto little toes. Bring the elbows in nice and tight. Inhale. On your exhale, bend your right elbow, look over your right shoulder. Look back behind you. Inhale to center, exhale, bend the left elbow, look over left shoulder. Inhale back through center, exhale, drive your child slowly down to the ground. Decelerating child, forehead will touch. Inhale back, up again, pull the low ribs in, shoulders come up, over hips, hands go back, lean back now. See if you can have your sole or the feet on the ground and the shins come off. Nice. Put the shins back down again. Take the knees wide. Big toes touch. And let's walk our child out, our wide child. Walk your hands out. Your buns stay back. Maybe do the cat clawing the carpet move, reaching out with the fingers. Find your down dog arms. Then release your elbows to the earth. Put your forehead down. Let's lubricate the hips, shift the pelvis right and left. If it's pinchy in your hips, back off. If not, enjoy this start to our hip adventure. Bring the pelvis to neutral. Inhale back up through a scared cat. Exhale, bring the body weight forward. Press the hands into the earth, find the stability in your shoulders, and then uncoil the cobra. Let the pelvis start to release to the earth. The head is relaxed. You're not looking up, just neutral. Stay with your straight arms for a moment. See if you can find the curve in the back bends here. If it's pinching in your back, put a block under your pubic bone. Let's go ahead and bend our elbows and keep them in nice and tight and see if you can come down lower, bringing the pelvis down towards the earth, not the belly button. Nice. Inhale back up again, scared cat. Exhale, knees go wide, big toes touch, and you push right back into your wide child. Maybe a little bit easier now, a little lubed up and released. Shift the pelvis right and left. Lubricate those hip sockets. Good, bring it back to neutral. Inhale up, scared cat. Exhale, body weight comes forward. Find your cobra. Inhale. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. See your heel back behind you. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over left shoulder. See the other heel. Back to center. Bend the elbows and very slowly start to lower. Hang on for a moment here, stretching the abdominal wall, finding the extension in your low back. And go ahead and lower yourself to the earth now. Make some pillow arms for a moment. And let your body shift right and left. Good. You can either stay with your head on your forearms like this, or you can come into Sphinx arms, whatever you're more comfortable with. Go ahead and bend your knees, soles of your feet to the sky. Keep an awareness of the pubic bone being pressed to the earth. And let's go ahead and, it's crazy legs, but we're on our bellies. Let your legs drift over to the right. You can try to keep your heel inside the shin if you'd like to. Slide it back up again, they meet in the middle, and then let them go the other way. So we've done this many times on our back. It's a whole different story on our bellies. Internally and externally rotating those femurs, ball and socket, trying to loosen up the area. Good. Go ahead and take the knees a little bit wider now. Inhale. And on the exhale, both legs are going to go out to the sides of the mat. So you're leading with the outside ankle bone. You end up mobilizing your sacroiliac joint here. Inhale the legs back to center. Keep the right one in front, left one behind, and let them cross. Inhale back. Exhale, let them out. Internally rotate with the muscle power. And then returning opposite, external rotation. First right in front, and then right behind. Back to center, and take them apart one more time. See if you can find that mobilization. Good. Put your feet down. Let's come on to all fours and do virtually the same thing, but it's different now because we're weight bearing on our knees. See if you can find all these nuances. Inhale. On your exhale, go ahead and take your toes off the floor and bring your heels out again to the outside borders of the mat. So now we've got a weight-bearing status in our hips. Inhale it back to center. Ankle bones will touch. Take right on bottom, left on top, and do that same crossover. Back to center. Take them all the way out. Find the internal rotation. And then right on top as they cross center. This is a great way to mobilize the hips. Let's do this a few times. If this is uncomfortable for your knees, by all means, put a blanket underneath the knees if your mat isn't fluffy enough or you're on a hardwood floor and it doesn't feel so good on your knees. You can also bring your body weight forward a little bit, and that takes some of the pressure off that patella, that kneecap. So just getting things warmed up here, trying to find the movement. You got it. Good. Go ahead and put the feet back, down on the ground. Take the knees wide and push back wide, child. What does that feel like now? Maybe a little bit freer. Maybe you can feel how it's infiltrating into the back a little bit now. Trying to pull the pieces apart. Send the pelvis right and left a few times. Back and forth. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and put ourselves on our back. We'll do our psoas block sequence, open up all the musculature, and then we'll get back into the hips, the joints. Grab your blocks, please. Have them ready for you on your back. Many of you know this. Inhale, on the exhale, press the feet into the earth and lift your pelvis off the ground. Take your block on its lowest level and slide it in underneath the sacrum, our holy bone. It's the triangle bone between the pelvic bones. You'll know when that block is in the sweet spot. You can keep adjusting it through the whole sequence here. Close your eyes for just a minute. Your knees are still bent. And see if you can feel how that sacrum imprints right onto the block. That's our stability. Inhale. On your exhale, straighten out your right leg. It's a Tadasana leg. Slide it way down the mat. So we start to move the ball inferiorly in the socket, lowering it down. Release the Tadasana leg and the leg will roll out to the right. That's the natural position for the hip when we're not engaging the muscles. Keep the right leg out. Let's do the same thing with the left. Inhale, and on your exhale, slide the left leg down the mat. It's Tadasana. Use that activity of the muscles first to help to create some separation in the joint. And then allow that left leg to roll out. Readjust the block accordingly. Let's go ahead and release the musculature and find the opening to the front of the pelvis. Take your hands under the top of your pelvis. These 2 points, these bikini bones. Dig your fingers in right inside those bikini bones and go ahead and pull the bones apart. So you'll open up the front of the pelvis and then maybe you can feel what's happening in the back, the joints or the sacroiliac joints, they're gathering. We like that. Let's release the psoas muscles with our fingers back to the human touch, right? Find your belly button. Your fingers, the tips of your fingers will dig in about 2 inches away from your belly button on both sides. Just start digging in and work your fingers up towards the bottom of the rib cage. That's where that muscle goes, all the way up to T12, which is the bottom of the rib cage. Work the fingers back down now. So you're working your fingers down 2 inches outside the belly button. Go past your belly button right into the pelvic bowl. And then your fingers will stop on the top of your thigh bone. That's where the muscle ends. Spine to femur. One more time, guys. Work them back up. And notice what happens is the whole system starts to release. And what we're holding just softens. Beautiful. Take your hands in the inside of the rib cage and trace down inside of the rib cage. Release the diaphragm. Nice. Hands will come and rest on the belly for just a moment. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and take our arms up over our head. Now reach to the back of the room. Arms go way back. Right hand grabs left wrist. Lengthen out left side. Left grabs right. Lengthen out right side. Maybe rest with the palms or back of one hand and the palm of the other. Close your eyes. It's a wonderful position here to find your breath, the rib cage wide open. Inhale, feel the lungs inflate and descend down. And on the exhale, let it release. Lungs will recoil and naturally the diaphragm will soften. Nice. Bring one hand down, the other hand down to your side. Bend your knees. Put your feet on the mat. Take your hands around the front of your right knee. Again, readjust the block if need be. Draw the knee up to the chest. Circle the ankle clockwise and counterclockwise. Snap out some of the cobwebs. Look at your right foot and spread your toes. See if you can see some color between the toes. Good. Take your hands now behind your knee and draw your knee to your chest. We start to stretch our hamstring now over the sit bone. Let's work our hamstring a little bit. Again, in the spirit of the human touch, take your fists and pound the back of the right thigh, your hamstring muscles, 3 of them. See if you can warm up those tissues and shift some tides. Good. Let's stretch the string now. Take your hands behind your knee. Inhale. And on your exhale, your hip will go back to about 90 degrees. Your knee will straighten and your toes will pull to your face. Take your knee or your hip down as low as it needs to go to straighten your knee. Let's go through that a few times. Inhale the leg back to start position. Tuck it in nice and tight. And exhale, release, hand stays behind knee, toes pull to face. Do that a few times. Hammy stretch on sit bone, hammy stretch over knee, hammy stretch on sit bone. Let's keep it there. Slide the whole right leg over to the right. It's a lateral glide, half a happy baby. See if you can grab your right foot with your right hand on the outside border. If that's too much, put a strap over it or just hold the back of your leg and then go ahead and let the left leg release down the mat, still keeping the sole of the right foot as high to the sky as possible. If your knee is way bent, your quads are tight. If the hip is way up off the block, then your hip flexors are tight. If both of them are apparent, that's why we're doing this. Take your left hand and maybe paint down that left thigh. See if you can find how can I straighten that leg a bit better while still preserving the right, half a happy baby. Good. Take the left arm up over your head now, reach to the back of the room. Oof. I can feel my whole hip flexor complex softening here. Beautiful, guys. Bring the arm back, bend the left knee, put the foot on the floor, right leg goes down. Let's do the other side, then we'll put them together. Hands in front of the right knee, left knee, sorry. Circle the ankle. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Spread the toes, find those intrinsic muscles in the feet. Take the hands behind the left knee, now draw it up towards the chest. Feel that tissue approximation. Let's stretch the hamstring, inhale. On the exhale, the leg will return to about 90 degrees of hip flexion, knee straightens, toes pull to the face. Do that a few times. Inhale it in, tuck it in nice and tight. Stretch the string over the sit bone where it attaches. Inhale again, and then exhale. Straighten out the leg, toes to face. One more time, draw it in and hold it. Glide that left leg out to the side a little bit so your thigh clears the rib cage. Hand on the bottom of the foot perhaps, maybe a strap, maybe just hold the back. Readjust your blocks as necessary. Hold the left foot straight towards the sky if possible, and then straighten out the right leg. Note the difference between right and left. Take your right hand on the right side of the psoas muscle there, the iliacus, both of them, and paint them down, trying to find the length to that leg. Take your right arm up over your head, be graceful. All the while trying to keep the left sole of the left foot towards the sky. We find that opening. Right hand will return. Grab both knees, now readjust the block and draw the knees up towards the chest. Good. Take your hands to the bottom of your block now. Interlace the fingers and find the bridge chest so the whole chest opens up, shoulder blades come underneath us, and then straighten out your legs, find your candlestick legs. So the sacrum is balanced on the block. We've got some inches of height here to allow our hamstrings to function a little better. Inhale. On your exhale, pull your belly in, hold your core stable, and slowly let your legs start to come apart. Opening the gates here, right? Maybe a few snaps and cracks in your hips as they start to mobilize. Inhale the legs back up to center, candlestick legs. Exhale, let them come apart again. Do a few of those, opening and closing. A lot of strength of your core required here. It's a stretch of our hamstrings and adductors, mobilizing the hips. Nice. Inhale them back to center. And on the exhale, turn the feet so the soles of the feet push and drop your heels down into your groin. Inhale. On the exhale, springtime trees, press the soles of the feet together, have them come up, and then pull the toes towards the face and push the heels out the roof of your house. Inhale. Exhale, soles of the feet together. Drop them down. Bring them down towards the groin. Inhale. Exhale. Push them together. Take them up. Redwood tree growing out of the forest. Nice. Bend the right leg. Put the foot on the floor. Bend the left leg. Put the foot on the floor. Inhale. On the exhale, lift. Slide the block out. Put your buns down. Crazy legs now that you're used to on our backs. Knees together, feet apart. Arms out to the side. Inhale. On your exhale, right leg slides down inside of left shin. Right buttock will come up, sacrum stays down. Inhale back up and exhale, left leg down inside of right shin. Continue this, trying to keep the movement constant as we start to add the other body parts. Thumbs to elbow creases, legs right, arms left. Inhale it all back to center. Exhale it, legs left, arms right. Inhale back to center. Let's continue this a few times. Arms and legs moving away from each other, finding rotation and lubrication in our spine and our hips and our shoulders. Now go ahead and let the head follow the legs while the elbows go opposite. Inhale everything back to center. Look towards the legs as they go to the left and the arms go to the right. Inhale back up. Exhale, you can add the eyeballs now. Eyeballs follow elbows while head follows knees. Eyeballs, elbows. Head, knees. Nice. Come on back to center. Let's do a little bridge for some warmth, and we'll do our piriformis sequence. Inhale. Exhale. Arms at your side, middle finger touch heels for most of us. Inhale. Exhale, push your feet into the earth first. Pull up your imaginary egg into your pelvis. Tack down your belly towards the ground. Don't flatten the back, and then lift your hips off the ground. Try to get your knees and hips in one long line. Take your hands underneath your back, interlace your fingers. Do your shimmy shoulders right and left. Start with the forearms on the ground. Lift your toes, then put them down. Don't grip the ground. Squeeze an imaginary block between the knees, and knees move towards the bottom of your mat. If you can here, take your elbows now, push them into the earth. As the elbows push down, the heart opens. Look down at your heart and open the chest. The thoracic spine that's extending. Maybe shoot the fingers towards the sky. Maintain that stable bridge. Take the arms up over the head if that's part of your abilities. Thumbs will touch the ground, maybe the backs of the hands. Pause here, go back through your whole checklist now. Soles of the feet, eggs. Tack down the fabric, squeeze the block. Beautiful. Inhale the arms back up again. On the exhale, elbows go down, arms go down, and start to lower your spine to the earth. Skip the low back and just imprint the sacrum. Find that subtlety. Take the soles of the feet, put them together, Baddha Konasana legs. And do your pinwheel legs now, soles of the, or sides of the thighs, touching the earth as the soles of the feet stay together. All right, come on back to your start position for bridge, and we'll go into our piriformis sequence. Take the right leg over the left. The right ankle bone is outside the left knee for safety. Put your hands on your pelvis. Be sure the two bikini bones are level, that the pelvis isn't skewed one way or the other. Right hand onto right thigh. Inhale. On your exhale, very slowly start to push the right thigh away from you. And then push it towards you. So meet it isometrically. Push the thigh to the hand and the hand to the thigh. Don't let things move. Release and see if you can open that a little further. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale, push thigh to hand and hand to thigh, isometrics. Release and give it another little push. Nice. Push the hand up towards the sky now. See if you can maybe feel the ball moving away from the socket a little bit. Let's go deeper. Slide the right hand through the hole in the legs. Grab the left hand behind that left leg and let the knee release. If your elbow's long enough, use the right elbow to keep the right hip nice and open. Remember on this, guys, it's the hips we're trying to release. So push your sacrum into the ground. Your low back will arch, and then draw the knees up towards the chest. So it's not about rounding out your low back. It's about finding the space in the hips. Yeah, draw that in. When you feel you're in as tight as you can go ahead and straighten out the left leg. Pull the toes towards the face. We did this a moment ago in our hamstring opening. See if you can find that softness. Slide the hands down now towards the groin. And rather than pulling, push the back of the left thigh into your hands, and maybe you can feel your hip and low back release. If you feel your core is strong enough and your quad is strong enough to hold the pose, release the hands. If that's not possible, then don't release the hands. If you're holding your leg, release. Everybody bend the knee and put your foot down on the ground. We're going to do a single leg bridge before we roll. Inhale. On the exhale, same cues. Push the left foot into the earth, pull up your egg, tack down your fabric, and then lift your hips off the ground. Your left gluteal is working hard here because your foot's pressing. See if you can find the right glute to keep the pelvis nice and level. We'll hold this for a moment. Push the right foot down into the left thigh and push the left thigh up into the side of your leg and see how your pelvis rises. Nice work. Slowly release down. Skip the low back, imprint the sacrum. This is the best part of the sequence now. Inhale, and on your exhale, roll over onto your left side. So the right foot is down on the earth. The left hand will hold the shin. Take your right hand onto your heart, left ear towards the ground. Inhale, and on your exhale, lift your right elbow, and then crawl the left leg back to the back of the mat. So we're lengthening out our spine and trying to find this quad stretch. Release your right hand now. See if you can find your shin or your foot. Right hand on left, shin or foot. And then spin yourself onto your back. Right sole, right foot on the ground. Trying to open ourselves up. Release the left hand for a moment and let's see if we can facilitate some rotation in our thoracics. Inhale. Exhale, push the left elbow into the ground, lift the heart and rotate. Grab back onto that right ankle and then see what you can do to complete your rotation, looking over your right shoulder. Right hip now, mobilize it like a screen door. Open and close that screen door. Good, let that right leg relax, straighten out. Lefty, go ahead and marry the legs back. Onto your back you go. Uncross the legs, nice. Straighten the legs out. What does right feel like compared to left? Let's go back and do the other side. Cross lefty now over righty, ankle bone outside knee, toes pulled towards the left knee to keep the knee safe. Check your pelvis that it's not skewed. Inhale, exhale, push the left hand into that left thigh and push it forward. Let's do the isometrics now. Inhale, exhale, push hand to thigh, thigh pulls into hand, the muscles contract for a moment. Release that and maybe it opens a little farther. Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale, hand to thigh, thigh to hand. Release, try to push it open. Nice. Push it towards the sky now. So you're pulling the ball away from the socket a bit and all the lubricating fluids move through. Slide your left hand through the hole in your legs, grab the right hand behind the right thigh. Again, don't press the head to the back of the ground too hard. Push your sacrum down and see if you can explore the opening of the hip. Slowly drawing the knees towards the chest. Inhale, and on your exhale, straighten out your right leg. Pull the toes towards the face. Push the heel right through the roof of your house. Slide the hands down now, closer to the groin. Give a push to the back of the thigh towards the hands. Maybe you can feel everything open. If it's in your wheelhouse here, release the hands. See if you can still hold on to the shape of the pose. If you're holding, release, bend your knee. Put your right heel close to your buttock. Inhale, exhale, push the right foot into the earth, pull up your egg, tuck down your belly, and lift your hips. See if you can find the push of the pelvis towards the sky. Maybe try that again, pushing the right side of your shin into your thigh and your thigh into your shin, push up, and then release. Trying to find this level pelvis. Slowly lowering down towards the earth. Sacrum hits, let's roll it. Inhale, exhale, roll over onto your right side. Sole of the left foot onto the earth. Grab it with your right hand. Be sure your head is somewhere stable on the ground. Crawl that right leg back a bit. See if you can find that opening. Left hand onto the heart, big open heart. Start to spin and release the shoulder back. Grab your shin or your foot, right shin or foot with left hand, and then use that for your impetus to roll onto your back, shoulder blades down. Use the elbow now, left elbow, inhale, exhale, lift and push, find a little more rotation. Grab the foot or the shin again, and do your left hip hinging here. Screen door. Good, let that come to rest. Soften for a moment. Go ahead and roll back onto your back. Uncross the legs. Soles of the feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana for a moment. Do your pinwheel legs. Good, take the hands outside of your legs, move your knees together. Roll over onto your right side. Come right up, back onto all fours. We're going to back into pigeon. Come up onto your fingertips, maybe some blocks under your hands. Feel what's right for you. Let's use the muscles. Inhale. And on the exhale, push the right leg way back. Push it all the way back. Inhale it forward, top of the foot scrapes the ground. Touch the right knee to the right elbow and then into the right armpit. And maybe you can circle it around so the knees touch. Let's back out of that. Inhale the leg back out, armpit, elbow, push back, all the way back. Inhale forward, make it as graceful as possible. Exhale, come around, marry the knees together. You're welcome to bring your shin parallel to the mat if you practice this regularly. Let's make it easy on us so that we can really mobilize the hip and don't be so concerned about the shin. Okay. Flatten the hands back down to the floor or stay on your blocks. Let's back into the pigeon. So the hands move back and the foot moves back. The hands move back, the foot moves back. You got the idea. Keep pushing back. We're going to end up in king pigeon, the top of the pose. Have your hands on blocks again. If it's too pinchy for your back, should not be loading into your low back here. Press the hands into the earth. See if you can inspire the opening of the heart. The head is free. Curl the toes under again and move the body back just one more notch. Inhale, exhale, push the top of the left foot into the earth. That's your anchor. From that, we're going to draw our body nice and long. Belly, chest over thigh. Take your arms forward for Sphinx arms for a moment. Press the hands and elbows into the earth and find the length to your spine. Okay, you're in a forward fold. You recognize that, right? Your body, your torso is flexed over your thigh. Anytime we're in a forward fold, we need internal rotation of our hip. Here we go. It's laying in external rotation right now. Let's see if we can provide some internal. Take the right hand, thumb into the hip crease. Inhale. On the exhale, push the thumb down into the earth, towards the earth, and then roll the thumb towards the groin. Feel that internal spiral. Maybe you have enough room now where you can lay it down a little easier. Trying to have the carpenter's level across the pelvis in your mind's eye so we're not dumping into the right hip. Hang out here, please. Maybe use the toes of the left foot to encourage a little bit more movement back. The internal spiral of that right thigh is the secret to releasing into your pigeon. It's a big old stretch of that right side butt cheek. the deep 6 muscles. Slide the hands back underneath the shoulders and press yourself back up. Find that yummy king pigeon. We'll move into our next pose by moving into plank first, and then we'll do the other side. Let's make it smooth. Curl the toes under left foot. Inhale. On your exhale, push your hands into the earth, find the stability in your shoulders, find your core, and gracefully send the right leg back behind you. Feet are apart. Best cue I have for plank pose, push your heels to the back of the room, pull your bellies up, and find your stability. Hold this for a moment or two. Good. Put your knees down. Reassemble your pose. Fingertips, claw hands are up on blocks. Let's do the other side. Take the right knee to the center of the mat. Inhale, and on your exhale, push left foot way back. Inhale it forward, slide it, top of the foot. It'll touch left elbow and armpit, circle around, marry the knees together. Same thing, out of it, inhale, touch armpit, elbow, exhale, push back, way back. Inhale forward, grace, elegance, marry the knees together. Stay on your claw hands or blocks or flat palms now. Start to walk the hands back, the foot back, the hands back, the foot back. We find our way deep back here into King Pigeon. Press the hands into the earth, shine the heart through, relaxed face, no clenching. Use the toes of the right foot, walk it back maybe another notch. Yep. Inhale. On your exhale, push the top of the right foot into the earth, your anchor. Start to draw the body weight over the thigh. Come into your Sphinx arms for a momentito. Press the hands and elbows into the earth, long spine. Remember, when we come down into pigeon, we don't flex down into it, but we try to stay as long as possible. Let's add that little flavor of the hip now. Take the left hand into the top of the left hip crease. Inhale, and on the exhale, push down and then roll the thumb towards the groin to internally spiral. And maybe you can feel there's some room now to release the pelvis. You can do your forehead on your pillow arms or stretch your arms out in front of you, whatever feels right. Maybe use the toes of the right foot and pull back one more notch. Pause here in your pigeon for a moment. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders, press up. Big, wide open hearts. Head is free. Release onto your left hip, and let's move into sitting pretty. Right foot on left thigh. This is internal-external rotation. External right leg, internal left leg. If you're finding that you're sitting and your left hip is way up, slide a dog or a block underneath your right butt cheek to level off your pelvis. So find that you can sit pretty here and not kind of crumpled down. Choice with your left foot, toes can be turned out or the foot can be straight back, again, depending on what feels right for you. Okay, we're gonna mobilize the left hip now in internal rotation. So take your hands back behind you, inhale, and on your exhale, push the front of your pelvis, left side of the pelvis forward. Notice how my chest isn't moving so much. We're stretching iliacus and psoas. You got two choices now. Three choices. As you let your pelvis release down, you can use the middle finger of your left hand and try to squash it with the sit bone. That's choice one. Choice two is to take your hand, your L-shaped hand, and internally spiral it. Or choice three is just do it in your mind's eye. Let's do that a few times. Inhale. On your exhale, take your left hip forward. Push the front of the pelvis forward, and then let it descend. You figure out what you need cue-wise to find the internal spiral. Take it back up, and let it back down. Good. Find your sit pretty for a moment. We'll move into our seated twist, right? Left leg is going to move over right. So lean back, inhale, and on your exhale, use your muscle power, draw the leg around, press the fists to the earth, lift, shake out the booty, and put it back down. Remember, you cannot twist if you're flexed, so keep yourself nice and tall. Sit up on a prop if need be. Hands on the knee, big open heart. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, right hand turn, look over towards the right. Turn the ribs first. And see if you can see the little finger of your right hand. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist left. Maybe have your head go last. Twist through the ribs and all first, and then look at the little finger of your left hand. Inhale back through center. Exhale, same thing, twist right. Use the muscles. And then release the arms for your extra added effort. Yummy, find that twist. Inhale back through center. Exhale left. Release and open. Truly amazing what we can do for our bodies and our minds, isn't it? Fantastic. Big open heart. Return this leg back to where we found it. Sitting pretty, maybe a little bit more lubed up now. Let's move into the beast. You're going to all turn to the right. Inhale. On the exhale, make a right hand turn and put your arms down for your staggered sphinx arms. Left elbow is on right thigh, right arm is a bit further forward. Inhale. On the exhale, just what I talked about in pigeon, don't flex to come down, but lengthen out first. Oh my goodness, can you find all that spinal movement? Draw the left arm forward, do sphinx arms now, the longest spine you have. And think about when you come down to the earth, it's not bowing into it, but find the pillow arms again and just rest, forehead down on pillow arms. Inhale. On your exhale, now straighten out your right leg. It's Tadasana. Straighten it way down the mat, and then crawl it to the back of the mat. So use that left foot and keep crawling it back. You're going to open up the hip flexor complex here. If your right hip is pinchy, you can send it through the knee a little further. And try to soften into this by allowing the forehead to release and maybe even straightening out the arms and resting your beast down on the floor for a few breath counts. Let's gather our limbs back. Bring the left knee back up. Bring the hands back up. And we'll move into our gate pose, our modified gate pose, sitting pretty legs. Right arm out, elbow goes down. As soon as the elbow goes down, press the hand and elbow into the earth and find the stability here in your shoulder. Don't let it cave in. Find this big open chest. Take your thumb into your left armpit, lift, and see if you can use that to help in rotating the heart towards the sky. Inhale the left hand up. Exhale, grab the cloud off the sky and come across town. Just reach way out, one really long line from your hip at your fingertips. Maybe you can let your right ear release towards the right shoulder. Inhale the head back up. Now we do our Saramonte car dealer. Dude, bring the arms up and shift to the other side, like those things shake in the wind, right? I hope you get the reference. Reach out with the fingers and look into the right armpit. This is a rusty gait for lots of folks. Inhale back up, Saramonte arms, and down you go. Reach out. Right ear releases. Inhale back up. Exhale, opposite. Dock into something, maybe have a block or something ready for you. Inhale back up. Start position. That's beautiful. Let's switch our legs to the other side. Find the grace and elegance in the shift. Use your smarts, use your blankets, use your props. So again, if you're sitting with your right hip way up off the ground, it's because your internal spiral is lessened. Slide something underneath your left butt cheek. Right foot can be straight back or turned out, hands out to the side. Inhale. On the exhale, headlights forward, just move from the pelvis, push into the front of the right hip, stretching this iliopsoas complex. 3 choices. either internally rotating with your hand, middle finger gets squashed by sit bone, or mind's eye. See what's going on in your body here, internally and externally rotating. Beautiful. Release it down. We'll do 3 of those, carving out our path. And sit bone down to the ground. Pause for a moment. We'll move into our twist. Right's going to go over left, so lean back, inhale, exhale, sweep it around. Fists touch the ground, lift. Buns go down. See if you can keep the big toe knuckle, right foot anchored to the earth, hands on the knee, big open heart. Arms come up. Inhale, exhale, open twist left, take it around. Inhale back through center, close, twist right, take it around. Inhale back through center, open twist with arms now. Release the arms, use that for the extra added stretch. So nice, inhale back through center, exhale around. Use the arms. Back to center, hands on the knee. Get ready to move into your beast now. We'll lean back, take the right leg back where we found it, left foot on right thigh. We're going to spin to the left. We just twisted all that yumminess, so spin it around to the left, stagger your arms to start with, right elbow, left thigh, left hand forward, inhale, exhale, push the hands and elbows into the ground. The right elbow pushes into the left knee. Oh my goodness, we find that long spine. Take the right arm out, Sphinx arms, even longer spines. Don't cave into the earth, just lower down nice and easy. Use as many props as you might need to put your forehead down. And then find that right leg straighten. We open up the whole front of the hip flexor complex even more. Crawl the right foot back. Feel the big opening. Maybe stay there with your arms, or if it's in your abilities, stretch out the arms out in front of you, maybe letting the third eye rest on the earth. Pause here for a moment. Gather your limbs, bring the leg back in, bring the hands back up. Reestablish sitting pretty, and we'll move into gate. Left hand out to the side. Drop the elbow towards the earth. As soon as it drops, we find the stability in the shoulder, right? Yep. Thumb into the armpit. Use the armpit to lengthen, or the thumb to lengthen, and then roll the chest. Look up, inhale the arm up. And on the exhale, the cloud, grab the cloud off the sky, take it across, reaching out, way out. Look at your fingertips, maybe the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale up, Suramonte arms to the other side, right elbow to the ground, left arm reaches out. Inhale up and out. Inhale up. Oh, yummy. Arms back to neutral. Okay, take your legs out in front of you again, and let's do the same thing that we started with, the internal and external rotation. This time, have your legs apart, because I know you're going to have more range of motion. Inhale, and on your exhale, let the feet turn out, right? There's your external rotation. I can just see in my own body here how much more my feet are turned out than they were at the start. Nice. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, see if you can touch the big toes together. Even with your heels that far apart, that's internal rotation. So maybe you can feel all that hard work that we've done. Awesome, kids. Take the right leg over the left for your half lotus. How does that feel now? Maybe a little bit freer. Take your L-shaped thumbs and index onto the tops of the thighs. Inhale, and on your exhale, roll the pelvis. So the pelvis is going to come up. The sit bones will come up. The femurs are nice and stable. Look how long your spine is. Take your hands out in front of you. Do your Sphinx arms. Press the hands and elbows into the earth and lengthen out that spine. Draw the elbows forward a little bit more. Maybe you can find not rolling down, but flattening down as we've opened our hips and back. Glorious. Switch the legs to the opposites. Cross, same thing. Thumbs pressed down onto the tops of the femurs. Inhale, exhale, roll the pelvis over the fixed femurs. We're not flexing, we're lengthening. Do your Sphinx arms. Press the hands and elbows in, lengthen. Walk them out, press the hands and elbows in and lengthen. Try not to round it, but flatten it by just releasing the heart towards the earth. Inhale yourself back up. Okay, let's make our way onto our back. Take your legs up for 90-90-90, hip, knees, and ankles. Take the right leg around the left for eagle legs, cross the knees. If possible, your right foot goes behind the left calf. If that isn't possible, then don't do it. Put your heels down on the ground and stretch the legs out nice and long. They don't go so long when the legs are crossed. It's a safety position. Right leg's going to stretch left side body. Inhale. On the exhale, use the right leg, draw the legs over towards the right and feel that unwind and release in the lateral thigh. Inhale the legs back to center. On the exhale, let's roll over, combining all of our poses. Roll over onto the left side. The right knee touches the earth. That's the safety position. Allow your head to release down onto the earth or onto a prop. Right hand onto the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the right elbow up to the sky. Find the rotation through that thoracic cage that we've worked a whole bunch today. Trying to release the ribs and shoulder blades to the earth more than the shoulder. Use your left elbow correction again. Inhale, exhale, push the left elbow into the earth. Roll the spine. Try to get both triceps onto the ground, still keeping the right knee down. And then open your arms like flags. Look over towards that right fingertips. Inhale the right hand up to the sky, grab the cloud off the sky, imprint it onto your left palm and slide it through for a protracted shoulder blade. Inhale back, roll onto your back, bring your legs up, uncross them, and then cross them up the opposite way, left over right, foot behind calf, maybe. Heels on the ground, toes up. So use lefty to stretch righty. Inhale, exhale, draw the legs towards the left. Lateral release, tensor fascia lata, quadratus lumborum, all kinds of goodies up in your hip and side body. Inhale the legs back to center. On the exhale, right hand on the outside of the left thigh. Roll over onto your right side. Knee goes down for safety. Head down on the ground or maybe onto a blanket. Left hand on the heart. Inhale. Exhale, left elbow goes up. Spin from the ribs to bring yourself around. See if you can find that opening. Use the right elbow to help. So the right elbow on the ground, fingers to the sky. Inhale on your exhale. Push the right elbow down. Whoa, lift the heart and rotate through the rib cage and see if maybe you can inspire those arms to release. Still keeping left knee down towards the earth. Pause for a moment here. So grateful for our practice, right? For our community, for our diligence, and keeping showing up again and again for this practice. Inhale the hand back up to the sky. Imprint it down onto your palm, slide it through. Slide back onto your back, uncross your legs. Straighten out your legs. Take your arms up over your head. Way to the back of your mat. I'd like you to do 3 very long, deep breaths now. Trying to make your exhalation twice as long as your inhalation. That long, slow, deep exhalation, what gives us our ticket to relaxation and calm. Bring your arms back down to your side now and we'll drift into Shavasana. Grab your mat with your fists, inhale, and on your exhale, push your fists towards your feet and your body will slide up the mat an inch or two. Bring your shoulder blades underneath you. Put an eye bag on or cover your eyes with a towel if possible. And let your arms rest at your side with your palms up, open, receptive position. Touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. It's a still, calming point. Trace the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth now. Again, more potent spots for you to allow your bodies to move into this beautiful relaxed position. Sense. Tongue releases, mouth is soft, no tongue, no teeth, no ripping, no grinding. It's softness. See if you can find yourself being held by the earth, supported and safe. Allow yourself to drift out to your special place for a few minutes here, trying to find the peace and serenity. I'm going to remind you again of our Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. I'm going to play this for you again, Janet Stone's new recording that is just so beautiful. So maybe as you're drifting into your Shavasana, see if you can keep our Loka in mind. Finding the marble on the back of your skull, the center of the head there, let your head start to rock slowly side to side. wake the system. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, bend your knees, slide your heels towards your buttocks, glue your knees and ankles together and roll onto your right side. Pause there. Eyes stay closed. It's our transition position, often inspiring. Thoughts of generosity, of kindness, of altruism, seva. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. My eyes have never been more wide open to what's going on in the world, to oppression and the clear differences between so many of us. What a waste. We are all the same. They all start off the same. Let's see if we can honor each other and have some respect and continue this yogic way of acceptance and stick with our loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Inhale. On your exhale, draw yourself back up to a seated position. Touch the earth with your fingers. See if you can feel the rooting and the rising. With our eyes closed, envision all of our yogis around the world practicing. Like-minded, collective consciousness. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands up to the heart, the thumbs to the heart rises. We pause here, reminding ourselves to be so grateful for all we have. Inhale. Exhale, hands float forward, fingertips touch, fingernails touch, hands open like a lotus. Draw the sweetness back to your hearts, backs of the hands roll, thumb to heart, thumbs to heart. Take your thumbs up to your third eye. Still contemplation point, all-seeing eye, ESP clarity spot, our vision. Let's bow to each other. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful yogis. I so look forward to Sundays. I hope to continue doing this for weeks to come. Let's see what happens in this bizarre world of ours. This is our way of staying connected. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to hang out a little bit again just to see your beautiful faces. And we've halted, or I have halted, Wednesday workshops for a while. So we'll see you next Sunday. And just to remind you, I also teach via Yoga Works on Tuesday, Thursday mornings, 7:30 California time. Thanks again, kids. See you all around.